Irene at thelimes.heathergreen.com. Dear Vera, well, that's got another Christmas and New Year out of the way, and all I can say is good riddance. I think I mentioned in my card that my daughter Leslie, who popped over from Australia for a short visit with the children in October, is still here and has quite taken over the house. I had been meaning to spend the Yuletide festivities with my darling son and his family, but his invitation did not extend to his half-sister, understandably after her last visit to his house. Did I tell you he had to have the whole dado completely refurbished? And I didn't dare leave her alone at the helm here. I am absolutely exhausted and feel like I need a really good long holiday. But with Leslie, Cheryl Marie and Bubbles eating me out of house and home for the last months, not to mention their profligate use of the central heating, honestly, it's tropical here these days. I don't know how I begin to afford it. I suppose there's no chance of you paying us another visitation in the near future. She was quite put out by your last stay, what with your denture problem at mealtimes, so I was hoping another dose of you might finish her off. Let me know if and when to expect you. Kind regards, Irene.
Vera at globalgobshites.com. Dear Irene, how very typical. The only time I hear from you these days is when you're in trouble or looking for escape from your humdrum home life. Have you any idea how long it is since you wrote me a proper letter? Then, when you finally do, it's drop everything now, Vera, and come to my aid. No thought for my itinerary. As it happens, I'm on the lovely island of Ibiza, enjoying sun, sand and sex. Hopefully. Far from having as tedious a time as you over the festive season, on Christmas morning, as soon as I smelt burning and heard my daughter Karen screaming at her husband, "You effing fool, you've nuked the effing turkey," I got straight on the net and found an emergency trip with Gaga, who must be well used to emergencies, judging by their package. Flight, hotel, medical expenses and sudden death inclusive. I can't tell you what a relief it was to leave the whole mob behind, crying, shouting, swearing. Oh, my granddaughter Sabrina, whose use of language is only improving in the sense that it gets more inventive by the minute. I would never have thought of calling my mother a minging menopausal slapper, though of course I would have liked to. Fortunately for you, the only sane member of my family, my dear son-in-law St. John, gave me a raspberry for Christmas, so I was able to downsize your email, as well as being able to phone anywhere in the world, snap beautiful things on the beach, and use the little pointy thing to clean my toenails. And so tiny. Really, nanny technology is remarkable, isn't it? It's going to be an absolute boon to me. As you know, or would if you bothered to communicate more frequently, I have for the past couple of years been looking for escape from the bothy. As a result, I've involved myself in all sorts of global campaigns and protests, including last summer's G8 Jamboree in Edinburgh. Wearing nothing but a banner declaring EU fat cats out, let the poor eat gravy, I danced the Highland Fling on Arthur's Seat, defying the SWAT team with clumps of heather. I was finally taken down by a passing abseiler when my banner tangled with his tackle. Now I'm basking on the beach, keeping an eye out for another wild encounter. If you're as bored and fed up as you sound, why not come and join me? I've got a spare Lilo in my room, and I'm sure the hotel can cope with your idiosyncratic culinary demands. Sending you New Year greetings and my address with this little raspberry, V. Oh, P.S. Your darling son's name is Christopher, by the way, as you seem to have forgotten it. Hardly surprising, as you haven't seen him in over a year. At least not to my knowledge.
Irene at thelimes.heathergreen.com. Dear Vera, really, I don't know what to make of your last. I can only assume you've had a touch too much sun, otherwise you would have remembered that you have told me about the abseiling incident about 999 times now.